Hello and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen and OBS number 2 and The Adventures of Barry Mackenzie's and 12 Inches of Celeste and Dame Edna on tour. Recently in the local ABC News there was an article with these people in it and I thought, I've seen you somewhere before.
What rights is it exactly you want from council that you don't have at the moment? Are there specific rights? Why are you still wearing a mask? Is it the right to have story time for children ages 1 to 6? Is that the right that's the hill you're going to die on, to have sexualised story time with little children? What are you guys fighting for? What rights in council are you lacking? Your sign says drag queens are welcome here, and that's fine, but why are they welcome to kids of ages 1 to 6? Are you a ratepayer?
Ratepayer? No, bro.
So what are you doing here?
I can tell you what I'm doing here. I'm opposing this sort of thing that is, how do I put this? Right-wing propagandists.
Avia Mini for Rebel News outside the Monash City Council, where hundreds have gathered in protest of an upcoming ratepayer-funded event.
We're here to let council know that we're not happy about drag story time and drag performers talking to kids. In this case, the story time in question is going to be conducted at Oakley Library on May 19 for kids aged 1 to 6.
And on the other side, we have a counter-protest of, I guess, pro-drag time stories to children. I'm unsure, because at this stage, as they're vastly outnumbered, they're unwilling to speak up.
So I thought I better have a look at the stuff that was in this article. And this is where it led me. Also that I can't do the document thing. Like I realised with my first attempt yesterday that, it's all right, I'm getting better.
Well, at the moment, the threshold for hate speech is quite high. And what we do know from what the government has committed, they're going to look at lowering the threshold to make civil and criminal vilification easier to prove, so that people who are subjected to vilification are able to get better justice through our court system. So the government's committed to introducing legislation to ban the public display of Nazi symbols in the first half of next year. And this is important not only for the Jewish community, but also for our communities as well too. We were targeted by Nazis, and I think it's extremely important that we stand in solidarity with Jewish communities against the display of these neo-Nazi symbols that incite hate behaviour.
Yeah, so current legislation proposed is to...
Disturbing pictures tonight of a group of neo-Nazis marching through Flinders Street Station. Mimi Becker is covering this story. Mimi, the masked men performed the Hitler salute.
As of next week.
They did, Alicia, performing it multiple times, in fact, as they went down an escalator here at Flinders Street Station. This neo-Nazi demonstration happened just hours after members of the Jewish and non-Jewish community met at a vigil for Israel. Police say that they were called to this impromptu demonstration around 1:30 this morning at Parliament House, as well as here at Flinders Street. That group of around 25 men with their faces covered and wearing all black. They managed to board a train where they sang in front of passengers before being asked to move on. But today there are calls for more to be done.
When the Jewish community is on edge at the moment, the last thing that anybody wants is these Nazi thugs intimidating people and threatening hate and violence in multicultural Melbourne.
The government has already called to ban the Nazi salute, and that law is up for debate this week in the upper house. Both sides of Parliament hoping that it passes so that we can stop seeing these ugly demonstrations. Alicia?
Absolutely. OK, Mimi, thank you.
So this was 2 years ago
At the moment, the threshold for hate speech is quite high. And what we do know from what the government has committed, they're going to look at lowering the threshold to make civil and criminal vilification easier to prove, so that people who are subjected to vilification are able to get better justice through our court system. So the government's committed to introducing legislation to ban the public display of Nazi symbols in the first half of next year. And this is important not only for the Jewish community, but also for our communities as well.
Sorry.
So we were targeted by Nazis, and I think it's extremely important that we stand in solidarity with Jewish communities against the display of these neo-Nazi symbols that incite hate behaviour. As to the other portion of work, so addressing our anti-vilification laws, there's a less clear time frame on that. And one of the things that we'll be doing is pressing the government to ensure that this is addressed as soon as possible. Nobody should have to suffer a day more of hate.
So one of the things in the ABC article was this, the Trans Justice Project, where trans people collect hate stuff, put it in a document, and give it to the federal member for Parliament, their local one, well, who lives locally but is federal. I couldn't get this to load the document, but I had this, so. Okay. So, introduce federal and state anti-vilification laws to protect the entire LGBTQIA+. What does the plus leave to open up to? Like potentially maps? Like what guarantee do we have that when we know that the aim of queer theory is to keep expanding the rainbow? I think the A people originally were supposed to be autistic people, but not autistic people wanted to get on board with that. Anyway, so work together. What are we going to do? Sorry. Introduce federal and state anti-vilification laws to protect the entire LGBTQI+, A+ community from abuse, harassment, vilification and violence. Work together with social media companies to stop the spread of anti-trans disinformation and anti-LGBTQIA+ hate groups. Strengthen the media regulation to ensure greater accountability for news outlets that promote anti-trans disinformation. Investigate community-led interventions to curb anti-LGBTQIA+ extremism and de-radicalisation approaches. Provide funding for further research into causes that impact of anti-trans abuse, harassment, vilification and violence and strategies for addressing them. Which sounds an awful lot like stuff that's going on overseas, and it sounds, well, it looks an awful lot like the federal government is orchestrating and the state government is orchestrating something here, some legislation with the assistance of the TQ people. Yeah. It's not the trans hate thing and the stuff with Sean, he's queer, and the other stuff is trans. None of it involves the other letters. Anyway.
Right, back to check it out. So, now, council elections are next year. Oh, now, do we know about the 9 council wards? the new rules that there's one councillor per ward, so there's now 9 wards for the 9 councillors. Council elections next year. Amy Johnson, Linda Coates, Des Hudson. They're not on the council.
I might have said something wrong yesterday with the Greens and lesbians not being a thing, which I think I was incorrect. I think that lesbians are a thing for the Greens, especially ones with dicks, and yep.
So let's see. Yeah, you want to go apply for some money? Oh, the Birdcage. Okay, gonna have a movie. And Rainbow now. Yeah, Pride swim gym night. Saturday between 6 and 9 p.m. Oh, yep. What's going on here? Oh no, these. Oh no, I can't see them that well. They've got women's bones, right? So I'm just guessing they're getting taught how to treat trans and queer people. Don't misgender or get the pronouns wrong or you lose your job. They're getting there anyway. They're doing that again. Got some photos here. Yeah, we still hang out in the women's change rooms. Yeah, old people. Yeah, get into it. Oh, and here we've got Des, wear a purple shirt. Support the kids, trans kids in high school. Feel comfortable being trans because we've got a gender clinic. We've got to get some patients for. And there's them again. Yeah, and that's it.
Right, so that's me taping stuff with my phone before I got better at this. They're the bits and pieces I used. And there's a quick refresher on what queer is. The end. See you later. Yeah, I'm a tad concerned about things in my neighbourhood. And in the state government and in the federal government. Anyway, see you later.